Absolutely jaw-dropping news just broke across the NFL. And if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, you might want to take a deep breath. Because this one is not just surprising, it's earth-shaking. In a move that no one saw coming, Sidney Brown, the dynamic, hard-hitting safety from the Philadelphia Eagles, has officially been traded to the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, you heard that right. Brown, a rising star and arguably one of the most promising defenders in Philadelphia's recent history, is now wearing the star and heading to Arlington. To understand the gravity of this move, let's rewind a bit. Drafted by the Eagles in 2023, Brown wasted no time making an impact. His rookie season was filled with highlight reel plays, bone-rattling hits, and the kind of intensity that made opposing offenses game plan around him. At just 5'10" and 210 pounds, he might not look intimidating on paper, but his explosiveness, instincts, and fearlessness turned him into a breakout sensation. Brown's combination of speed, aggression, and film study set him apart from day one. He brought energy to the field, leadership to the locker room, and a no-nonsense attitude to every snap. So how in the world did the Eagles let him go, especially to a division rival? That's the million-dollar question. Rumors had been swirling that Philadelphia's front office was exploring moves to clear cap space and retool their roster. But even with that in mind, no insiders had Sidney Brown on the list of trade candidates. It wasn't even a whisper until today. Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys have been on a mission this offseason. With the departure of Dan Quinn and a renewed emphasis on building a championship-caliber defense, the Cowboys have been moving in silence, waiting for the right opportunity. And when they got word that Brown might be available, they pounced. League insiders report that Dallas had been quietly monitoring Brown's status for weeks. Once they got confirmation from sources in Philadelphia that a deal was possible, they moved fast, putting together a trade package the Eagles couldn't turn down. While the full details of the trade haven't been released, early reports indicate the Cowboys sent over a combination of mid-round draft picks and possibly a rotational defender. Some sources suggest a cornerback or linebacker could have been part of the deal, possibly someone the Cowboys had already considered moving due to roster depth. No matter the cost, one thing is clear: this is a win-now move. The Cowboys are no longer tinkering, they're going all in. They believe Brown is the kind of difference-maker who can take their defense from good to elite. Just imagine it, Trayvon Diggs, one of the league's premier ball hawks, paired with Sidney Brown, a violent enforcer with sideline-to-sideline speed and a nose for the football. Add in Darren Bland, who's quietly become one of the most reliable corners in the league, and suddenly you've got a secondary that can match up with anyone, anywhere. And from a culture standpoint, this is massive. Brown is more than just a football player. He's a tone setter. A guy who studies tape like it's gospel, lives in the weight room, and holds teammates accountable. He brings edge, fire, and leadership to a unit that already has alpha personalities like Micah Parsons. That's the kind of locker room chemistry that fuels deep playoff runs. Let's talk fit. Brown thrives in schemes that let him roam, blitz, react, and create chaos. The Cowboys' new defensive staff is implementing a hybrid, aggressive system that's tailor-made for a player like him. Whether he's crashing the box, blitzing off the edge, or dropping into zone coverage, Brown is going to be a nightmare for quarterbacks. He's also a beast on special teams, giving the Cowboys an added layer of versatility. Now, naturally, this move is sending shockwaves through the NFL. Eagles fans are in disbelief. You don't trade a young, ascending talent, especially to the Cowboys. It's nearly unheard of. Reactions in Philly range from anger to heartbreak, Brown was loved for his hustle, his passion, and his clutch playmaking. And now, he'll be wearing the colors of their most hated rival. That's the kind of move that turns a rivalry from intense to volcanic. In Dallas, on the other hand, the mood is electric. Social media is buzzing. Fans are calling this a franchise-defining move. Even Cowboys legends are speaking up, praising the front office for finally making the kind of aggressive move that says, "We're not here to participate. We're here to dominate." For a team that's been stuck just shy of the NFC Championship year after year, this could be the jolt they need. This is no longer a team hoping for things to click. With a core that includes Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard, Micah Parsons, and now Sidney Brown, there are no more excuses. The Cowboys aren't just looking to win the division, they're eyeing the NFC crown. They're gunning for the 49ers, the Lions, the Eagles, and yes, even Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, if it comes to that. From a leadership standpoint, Brown's arrival adds a whole new dynamic. With veterans like Prescott and Zach Martin already setting the tone, adding someone like Brown could galvanize this locker room. Every Super Bowl team has that mid-off-season acquisition that puts them over the top, just like Von Miller with the Rams or Antonio Brown with the Bucs. Brown could be that guy for Dallas. Training camp is going to be must-watch this year. Brown will be diving into the playbook, locking in with his new teammates, and adjusting to a new system. But don't expect a slow transition. Brown's work ethic is elite. He's the kind of player who'll be making an impact from day one, whether it's laying the wood in joint practices or creating turnovers in preseason games. And this move may only be the beginning. The Cowboys now have momentum, attention, and a re-energized fan base. Don't be surprised if they make another splash or two before the regular season kicks off. They've made it crystal clear they're done playing it safe. This is about rings now. The Sidney Brown trade is more than just a headline. It's a signal to the rest of the NFL. The Dallas Cowboys are not waiting around for another next year. They're making their move. And as for the Eagles, well, the heat is on. Because when these two teams meet in Week 10, the storyline won't just be about the rivalry. It'll be about the one player who crossed enemy lines and may just become the X factor that changes everything. So buckle up, Cowboys Nation. The season hasn't even started, and we're already in playoff mode. Sidney Brown is officially a Dallas Cowboy, and the road to the Super Bowl just got a whole lot more interesting. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel because we're going to be tracking this story every step of the way from Brown's first practice to his first interception in a T&T stadium. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Did the Cowboys just pull off the steal of the offseason? Is this the move that finally gets us over the hump? Smash that like button if you're hyped for what's coming. This is going to be a season to remember. The addition of Sidney Brown doesn't just give the Cowboys a physical enforcer, it gives them a game changer. He's not the kind of player who just fills a role, he defines it. Brown brings relentless energy, unmatched drive, and the kind of controlled aggression that every elite defense needs. His presence on the field forces opposing offenses to account for him on every single play. Quarterbacks will think twice before testing the middle of the field, and running backs are going to feel his hits long after the whistle. His versatility is going to be a nightmare for offensive coordinators. He can cover tight ends, chase down scrambling cubes, or shoot the gap and blow up a play before it develops. There's no telling how high his ceiling really is, especially in a system that's ready to unleash his full potential. With the Cowboys' defensive scheme shifting under a new coordinator, Brown fits like a glove. He's the type of player who can instantly change the tone of a game with one hit, one interception, or one perfectly timed blitz. The fact that Dallas managed to land him, especially from their biggest divisional rival, sends a thunderous message. The Cowboys aren't just retooling, they're reloading with purpose. And make no mistake, this move wasn't just about what happens on the field. It's about culture, identity, and shifting the balance of power in the NFC East. The Cowboys have been flirting with greatness for years, putting together talented rosters that just couldn't quite get over the hump. But a move like this? It signals a new chapter. The front office showed guts. They identified a rising star, made the bold call to go after him, and executed a deal that has the entire NFL talking. This is a calculated risk that could redefine their defensive identity and finally turn this team into the all-around powerhouse they've been trying to become. Fans are fired up, players are motivated, and the locker room just got an injection of intensity that could prove to be the X factor when the playoffs come around. We've seen teams make one pivotal move in the offseason that sets the tone for the entire year. This could be that moment for Dallas. Sidney Brown in a Cowboys uniform isn't just a surprising trade, it's a declaration. This team is coming for everything.